Excuse me, are they having the CPAB meeting today?
That's actually.
That back room?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I've seen a lot of like sidewalk painting messages in the city of West Hollywood. I haven't ever seen that in the city of Los Angeles, but we could.
This was something that they just did on.
They did on their
underground
property.
campus.
Yeah.
A year or so back.
But if we're talking about doing something like that on the sidewalk, we could go to street services and see what they think. Or do you live in Council District 2 or 4?
CD2.
I'm with Councilmember Bowman's office.
We do have Ventura Boulevard. There we are, we're in your area.
You know, I'm constantly telling my friends and neighbors, I see them walking and they have their dog, and they have
Yeah.
their babies and they're on their phone, it's like, people, you're not paying attention to anything.
Yeah.
Question? In a crosswalk, specifically since it's right on the station, quite often there's a lot of cars trying to turn right off of the off-ramp, and I'm coming the other direction. Well, there's room for 3 or 4 or 5 cars to cross safely in front of me as I start across that intersection. And I'm always telling people, go ahead. And don't we share that space? I mean, if it's safe for them to go, is that okay? Or does one automatically have preference over the other?
I'm trying to picture what you're talking about. Are you crossing southbound across?
I'd be crossing, southbound from other side of Burbank to the station, that crosswalk right there, the freeway complex. And there's lots of room for cars to go by before I even get halfway across. So I encourage them to go, but I don't know what the rules are.
Well, the rule is somewhat vague. It's if you pose a hazard to them making their turn.
Exactly.
So it
But
is
they pose a
subject-
hazard to me crossing.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it is subjective in enforcing that, which we're limited in doing anyway. But if, a lot of times, if a pet is halfway through the intersection and they wave me on, I'm very hesitant to cross in front of them. I want them to continue to cross and I'll wait for them.
Yeah.
If you're already in the intersection.
Yeah.
If you haven't started crossing yet, and you're at the other side of the street and I can make my right turn without interfering from you crossing, then I will make that turn.
The second question is, when you are making a right turn, even with the light, you're supposed to go to the far right lane, is that correct?
That is correct.
Now what, again, at the same intersection, trying to turn left on Colfax, that involves crossing 3 lanes of traffic, the right turn lane and the lanes 1 and 2. I just put my blinker on and watch for traffic and cut across. I mean, how else do you do that without crossing lanes?
When you're making your left turn, onto Burbank from Colfax, is that what you said?
No, it'd be making a right turn on Burbank, trying to turn left on Colfax. You have to cross the traffic lanes into the number 1 lane in order to turn left.
So ideally, you would wait for traffic to clear, so you could make that immediate turn and then slowly make your lane
Exactly,
changes
with
into the
the
left turn lane.
signal, okay, good. I always wonder about that when I do that, I do it every day, so.
You're gonna upset people behind you by waiting, but it's better to be safe on your
Yeah,
end.
they can wait.
And I got honked at today, there was an arrow to turn
Thank
out
you.
Colfax at Chandler. And, I'm hearing LAPD coming down, people are honking at me because the arrow stopped, and I'm sitting there like, yeah. And then all of a sudden they see the black and white coming, then I could tell what siren it was. But yeah, people are just in such a hurry because they all need to get where they need to get, otherwise the whole world's gonna stop. Yeah, well, we might figure out something along pedestrian traffic safety, technical campaign or something that we could do, and I'll check with you on the street side.
We have some pamphlets on pedestrian safety. We can talk to DOT and see what resources they have. Doing an event sounds like a good idea. You have to think about how to strategize and get engagement, maybe piggyback on some other kind of event.
Yeah, well, I know National Night Out,
Mhm.
if they had a table, traffic had a table of all the National Night Outs.
I was gonna suggest the National Night Out to.
Yeah, but we're not,
something like
CPAB's
that.
not having a table, we're gonna be table hopping, event hopping, so we don't do it. I know that the Pals, are having one at Toluca Lake,
I emailed the Slows about that specifically, and Sean got back to me and said that there are 4 events that he would like me to attend. So I will be a little bit spread if I attend all 4 events.
Yeah, I heard the food up at, in Sun Valley is supposed to be really good. They had great tacos last year. But they had great sandwiches at Valley Village.
Yeah, they always have stuff like that. Do you know if Valley Village is on your list of national night outs?
If, who is?
Valley Village?
He hasn't sent me the list yet, so I can't verify.
Yeah, we've got Valley Village, Toluca Lake, Studio City, and Sun Valley. Those are the 4 that I found in our area.
More than likely, those are the 4 that Sean's
Yeah,
talking
the
about.
Studio City one is at, South Weddington Park. South Weddington? Yeah. They don't have all the times for every weekend.
What date is that again?
August 5th.
Tuesday night, August 5th. And usually they're like about 5:30 or 6 o'clock. Start time is like 8 or 8:30 at night. That's the normal. So just go to the one that's closest to you that you wanna go to and hang out. You know, just sort of walk around, and if you wanna, you know, national night out, hop to the next one. That's kind of what we're doing, because it's put on by the community, for the community, and not the department for the community. And I know a lot of departments are doing it, but it started out like, you know, the history of it is community getting together. And I remember when I first started on CPAB, like 29 years ago, one of our members, you know, although that, they would have a potluck for their neighborhood, everybody would be there. And then everybody would eat, and then they'd all get together with their senior lead and walk their neighborhood. And it's just sort of like getting the message out that, you know, this is our neighborhood, you know, we've got eyes on you type of a thing. But over the years, it's developed into all these big events that it's taken away from the purpose of what National Night Out is. So, that's the one that's coming up, and I don't know if we can do anything. It'd be good if we were able to pull something together before school starts. You know, with the kids and housewives and going to from school, so, you know, that's something we could, maybe we do town hall or something, I'm not too sure how that would work out, but something to think about. I'll talk to the outreach committee and see, I think that's something you guys can, just Lenore's gone until the end of the month, she's in Costa Rica, so can't have a meeting for this. All right, well, thank you so much, I appreciate it. And you're welcome to walk out the door anytime you want, we won't hold you to it. Unless you're here to protect the captain from us, you know?
Somebody needs to-
You're gonna need more than one copy.
All right, well, the only other guest speaker that we have tonight is me, because everybody else is not here. And there's nobody on Zoom, so it's just us.
Hi everyone, I'm Cindy Liss, Councilmember Robbinsfield, Deputy for Studio City. I think I've seen most of you here before. Things are a little slow because council's on recess. We're still in office if you need anything, but I don't have legislative updates this week. We have one event coming up on the 31st that we're excited about. It's gonna be a Know Your Rights training for in regard to immigration enforcement. We've had a lot of community members reach out to us asking for programming aimed at helping people understand what the proper way to react is if you see immigration enforcement in your community, what is legal, and what you can advise people who might be at risk of having their rights violated, what you can advise them to do to protect themselves. So we're going to be partnering with an organization called Public Counsel. They're a legal aid organization. They have a ton of expertise in this area. It's going to be a 90-minute session with time for Q&A. We're trying to get as much participation as we can. If anyone has any ideas about how we might spread the word, I would love to talk to you about bringing on more sponsors for promotion and outreach. We're gonna have a flyer ready by Monday, and I'll be able to share that with anyone. And that'll be the 31st at 6 p.m.
And where is it?
Zoom, online.
Is that the same one at Green's offices that you know about?
I don't think so.
Did you ever get a hold of server trip and leftovers?
It's back on.
I know it's back on.
Yes.
What did you do? I had everybody call, so it's like, you know, from 122 days to about 2.5 weeks. I know people.
Yeah.
So I was calling and.
It's difficult for us. We don't really get status updates. We get a few priority, we get like a week with the priority crew every few months, and we can send them where we want them. But I don't think we're having our next one until like October. So those 6-month timelines that we keep hearing about are a lot of the time the case. Sometimes it seems like they figure out how to get a crew out more quickly when it's a really widespread outage. But they don't quite tell us that that's what to expect.
Yeah, I know, cause I talked to a couple of people and one said, you know, it's 122 days, but she said, to be honest with you, it could take up to a year. You know, it was a
That's
very-
more likely for like a single light outage. It seems like they're doing a little bit better with the larger outages.
Yeah, yeah. You know, so it was fixed really quick.
Yeah.
That's great. And you, are you with Sydney?
Me? No.
Oh, okay.
So I was, speaking of CD4, that was a great opportunity, having a nice meeting with CD4.
Yeah, I heard you talking to Jet.
Deputy Jane Anderson and Partner Deputy District Director Walter King. We talked for a bit, we introduced each other, and they're really looking forward to working with you guys.
Jay's really great.
Yeah, so, Jay's got a lot of experience, like you do, so, no, it was good stuff.
Yeah. Jay's our field deputy for the Cuenca Pass. If that's relevant to anyone, happy to put you in touch with him.
Good, Q&A, came to the station, I showed him around.
Very
I
nice.
showed him our deployment, our numbers, number of officers.
Mhm.
Couldn't believe it, but yeah. So, and I'll give you guys a brief on that, it's not looking good for our numbers. That's what we have, you guys.
Could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. My name is Alan. I'm just here to watch. I heard about it through a friend, and I actually was hoping to attend the one at the East Hollywood, but to my frustration, that CPAB keeps getting unannouncedly canceled, and it's been for about a quarter now that they haven't had it, and I just don't think that's right, and so. I was looking to see what CPABs might actually be held for the month of July, and I found out that you guys are where I'm based, the only one that's having one, so I was like, well, let's see if I can catch a CPAB, because my understanding is they're supposed to be frequent and open, and I'm like, why is...
Well, you know, each CPAP is run differently, and it's by the decision of a particular captain. Some have closed sessions, you know, where CPAP members only, then some may have, you know, like one open session. There's a couple that have more like a town hall type of an effect, and they have big guest speakers and a whole lot of people coming. But we're an advisory board, you know, and, you know, we have an open session in the beginning, and then we go into a closed session for CPAP business, which is stuff that the community doesn't need to hear, just, you know, things like this planning and stuff like that, that really doesn't involve community involvement until we get it up and running, that type of a thing. And, I know that last month we didn't have one because of all the protests, and officers are running around crazy and 16, 18 hours a day, and we don't want angry, tired, hungry officers with us, right? Curtis?
No.
You know, it's just like, anyway, so that's kind of what we're about. Where do you live? Do you live in the North Hollywood area?
over closer to East Hollywood, but like right in between, yeah. I'm over by a
So
CD13.
you would be Hollywood Division,
Mm.
would be your, yeah, do you know who your senior?
The Hollywood Division's having an in-person meeting, let me check the date. I just got a notification about it.
Yeah, because I know last time it was in March, and Heredia canceled it like totally last minute, and so ever since then it's literally been black the entire time.
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of hard when things come up, you know, it's like, it's a good thing they had Wellness Day yesterday.
22nd.
This one? Oh, wow, okay, that's news to me. I've been trying to talk to Xerox about the MEU program for a while. I mean, um, I just want to see if he supports it or not. It's a great program. I think it should get a heck of a lot more money, and that's basically what I wanted to talk about. But
What program is that?
The MEU, mental evaluation unit.
yeah, they're the officers that are accompanied by a licensed clinician, typically responding to 5150 calls and mental health crisis calls. But it's been getting defunded quite a bit, and there's less and less officers that are accompanied by such clinician year over year.
Is that, separate from, I know Leeds just got
Yeah,
funded.
so good,
And then-
good point. So what they're doing is, they have a LEADS program. Have you heard of LEADS?
Mm.
Yeah. So I think the big picture is the department and the city are going to combine MEU with LEADS. That's why LEADS is kind of like they're in an experimental phase right now.
Yeah.
And, what's the other one that they have that we don't have?
Circle.
Circle. We don't have Circle yet. Circle's been around in the city now, other divisions, and they're experimenting with that. So I think what they're doing now, like another, at the end of the, I don't know when they're gonna decide, but one of them is gonna stick around, and they're probably gonna incorporate it with MDU, which is, that's what they want at the end.
And
It's one of them.
our understanding, so correct me if I'm wrong, this is from homeless, forum and talking with, officers that deal with the homeless population a lot, is that we don't have it in our area, North Hollywood, because people don't call the non-emergency line. So it's specifically a numbers game. If people aren't calling and saying, hey, there's this homeless person, they need help, but it's not an emergency, a 911 emergency, then we're not getting the volume of calls, therefore they're not giving us the circle program. It's, we have to have the interest and the call and need, that's my understanding. And I did connect with Leeds and they had just been
Yeah.
defunded, yeah,
So they were, after the meeting, they got defunded?
that's right. Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's
So
it's like
defunding, at the end of the day, guess what? We don't have, we as, we're losing 586 police officers next year. I went to a meeting on Monday. I'll give you guys the numbers, you guys are gonna be like, wow. And just because retirement, people are retiring, officers are retiring, there's not enough money, to hire, we were hiring 500 a month. Now, as of July 1st, we didn't have enough money, so now we're only funded for 250 officers a month.
Month or year, sir?
I'm sorry, yeah, you're right, a year. A year, so that's half, right? And then
6,000 is not
we
bad.
figured 250, right? And then of those 250 that graduate, how many actually graduate? They won't make it through the academy, and then those, if they make it to the field, are they gonna last that year? Are they gonna make it? We have high standards. This week, I met with, an individual, probationer. It wasn't for him. It's not what I signed. So I give him credit, I give him credit because that takes a lot of moral courage to say, hey, this is not for me. Because, we're dealing with life and death situations, right? And he saw the entire, this is life and death. So we send him on his way and wish him luck. That's an example. We lost one officer, not even 1 year into the field.
Quick question, are you suggesting that we tell people to call the 877, we ask them to pick a number if they see homeless? If it's a non-emergency.
Non-emergency.
Yeah.
Aren't the police not responding to homeless calls unless it's a crime being committed against them or something?
So it's not a crime to be crazy, right? But there is a crime to be dated to yourself or others. That makes sense. So we will respond if it's a 5150, if it's dated to yourself or others. But if somebody just, walking around, yelling at himself and, what we typically see, it's not, walking around barefooted, right? Barefooted and, with just pants on, or ripped pants, that's not a crime. But you can call it, report it, hey, I see somebody walking around in it's 110 degrees out here, or it's cold, rainy, and he or she walking around with shorts, ripped shorts, and barefoot, we call that an emergency. They'll go into that database and they'll try to get somebody to help them. Lead them over.
Or if they're blocking the entire sidewalk, obviously they can't do that.
Because we're getting a lot of complaints in Valley Village about the corner of Magnolia and Colfax. There's two homeless people camping on the southwest corner. And a lot of neighbors are concerned because of an incident a few weeks ago where they got broke into a lady's house. So, I mean, where do people want the park bench or the bus benches taken away? And I don't think that's the solution, to remove the bus bench where they're camping out. So what do we tell people? Because CD2's office is not responding the way these ladies want. They're not getting the response they want to hear.
Do we do cleanups like that? Do we do cleanups like that? It's funny you mentioned that, 'cause he's probably one of the experts on how to solve that.
You're,
Oh, he is.
come on, you used to do the transit stuff, come on.
Catherine Barger was at our residents association meeting last night. She said she was gonna reach out to CD2 to try to coordinate.
So CD2 does do cleanups, but what happens is, it takes about 2 weeks, is the lead time before you get on the list, it's a rotating list to get to cleanups. Sanitation shows up, hey, we're gonna clean up, sure, not a problem. If they grab their items and they move 2 or 3 blocks down the way, sanitation will clean the location, they come right back to the same spot.
I have to say, the two people that are there right now, they're really very tidy with their bundle of stuff. I mean, it's not like horrible to me, but literally,
It's across the street from the school.
yeah.
We'll talk.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, especially across, is it 500 feet within the school?
Yes, but when I talked to Rob the other day, and he said that he said it's not a crime to be sitting on a bus bench, that you can't go pick someone up just because they're hanging out on the bus bench. Even if it is within 500 feet of a school. And the school's not in session right now, so.
No,
Right, well, since, Caesar's here, you can give us your report, sir, if you have anything more you'd like to add.
Sure, we still have an issue with homeless, obviously. I recently submitted a report to CD2 asking for a 4118 zone. You have a recycling center which continues to be an ongoing problem. Pulled data back from 2018 to show all the crime at that intersection. Hopefully it would be presented to city council and they could agree to have a 4118 zone based on crime. And it went through, must have been 300 radio calls just to determine which one was homeless related, to show this is the reason why I want it and what the community needs in that area. And I'm still having issues today, that's ongoing, working on it. RVs is still an issue, now we can impound them. Sanitation's very good about responding with us, along with Black and White Tow, as long as you schedule ahead of time. And as long as they don't move, we can impound them now, but we show up to impound and some of them move, so now it's a cat and mouse game, because they're able to move the RVs. Other than that, that's all I really have, as far as my area. Any questions for me or the slow office at all? Yes,
So 4118, I had to look it up.
yes, ma'am.
That's obstructing a sidewalk or sleeping, is this the Supreme
So,
Court ruling?
Yeah, 4118 is the general law, but there's a lot of subsections, each subsection is whatever violation that may be. The zoning is one section, the blocking the sidewalk is another, blocking a doorway, a driveway, a fire hydrant, those are all 4118s.
What about, a
On a bus
bench, waiting
bench?
for a bus bench? No.
Not a crime.
Okay, what's the line between, because I know loitering is not a crime now, so what is that line, is it obstruction?
So within every school and park, they made a city ordinance where it's 4118 within 500 feet of the school or park. 1,000 feet from any of the tiny homes or any of those facilities that house people. So they expanded to keep the area clean. So if there's items there, sanitation is responsible to go pick up the items. If someone there, we can go and cite. However, we have to give them a warning first. Correct this issue, correct whatever the problem is. If you don't, you come back, you can be cited and or arrested on the spot. So we gotta give the opportunity to, on a 41.
And obviously offer them no. I know.
Correct. If they agree to it, I'll get help. If they say, no, I don't want it,
Yeah.
we'll go that way.
No,
I keep that one to myself.
I told you to bring in the
Good answer.
margaritas.
Keep that one to
Good
myself.
answer.
I do wanna say, we just got done with the incident in, West Park.
Yes, I heard about that.
Both suspects were in custody.
I already know.
Yeah, Orange County Sheriffs, and so everything turned out.
Well, thank you, sir.
So what is, LAPD still has the policy that they will not help ICE, is that correct?
So, I was gonna get that during my community brief, but I'll jump right into it. All right, so I wanna hear, before I give you guys our policy, what rumors, what are you guys hearing that is our policy, or what do we do?
I just heard through the rumor mill that at the protest last month, that the office, LAPD was pretty much defending the National Guard more than they were protecting the public, and that they were shooting non-lethal weapons at reporters and protesters. And whenever I asked and said, so were these protesters causing issues? I said, no, they were just there. And they said, in fact, they were stepping away and got shot. So, again, hearsay. But anyway, that's what rumors are out there.
So the way we deal, and I'll try to make this as brief as possible, but the way we deal with the media, okay? So, as an example, say, you guys are protesting, right? It can become violent now, okay? I declare an unlawful assembly. I say in English, Spanish, I have an officer in the back with video communicating with another officer. Can you hear me giving the unlawful assembly and giving directions? Make a right here, make a left there, you have 10 minutes, you have 5 minutes. Yeah, I can hear it. Are you videotaping? Yes, okay, now we can hear it. All right? And then after 10 minutes comes up, did I get everybody? Start moving. Say he's on media. He's got his credentials, right? His media. Sir, your media, I recommend that you go behind us. The media, we have a media relations officer. They will grab, we'll help them out, whatever media they're from, and we will put them behind our line, skirmish. We're going forward, right? The minute we start getting projectiles, okay, that's when we will bring our less lethal up, okay, and we will start using less lethal. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The sheriffs, okay, they are basically in the line with us, because going back to funding, we don't have enough officers to be on that line like we used to. So now we get the sheriffs, we even have California Highway Patrol, I don't know if you're looking, pay attention, you see them there. They use different less lethals than us. They have different use of force policies than us. They don't have the media liaison officers like we do, right? So all these people that are getting shot at, media, I guarantee you will not be hit by projectiles from LAPD. Because we don't even use tear gas. They never use tear gas. They don't use it. So, that's just the way, you know, like collateral damage, if you want to call it. But there was plenty of warnings for people to leave. I have family members that were there, and they knew when unlawful assembly was declared, they were out of it. And we even use social media, and we send an alert in that entire area on your phone, like silver alerts, all these alerts that you get. This is an unlawful assembly, you have to. So there's really no excuse to that. I don't know what to tell you. It's unfortunate that people want to, you know, protest peacefully. But you always have these violent people that want to egg people on. And I'm going to tell you one of the best ones I've seen where community took over and prevented something like that to happen. No case protest right here on.
That was a very well organized protest.
I was at that.
was there.
That was one of my 30 years. I think that was like, I even told the lady who set everything up, and you know, I'd like to invite you one day to maybe do a forum on how to set one of these up. And I was serious. Her name is Noreen, I forgot her last name. So, they had a lot of people there. It went from, when I got there, it was maybe about 400 to 500 people. And then it started growing. I got the air unit to do a flyby, and they use all that technology, and he calls me back and says, actually, she calls me back, she's a pilot. She tells me, hey, Cap, I got about 4,800 people down there. And I said, send me a picture. I got a picture, and I could see, even the alleys were full of people. She said, okay, this might get into this. So I called my boss, and we got ready in case anything bad happened. There was about 10 Antifa type of individuals. We know who they are, what they look like. The community members called Noreen, they called me, they told me where they were at. They actually nicely told, the community members told Antifa, this is not about violence. We're not gonna let you guys get violent. And they started following them, like shadowing them. And guess what? They left. So that's something that, you need a lot of people to do that, obviously. But that worked. Nobody got hurt. Maybe some people got their feelings hurt, but that's about it. But it went on for hours, you know, and there was kids there, families. That was a classic one. And I wish we could do more like it, especially downtown.
I was there doing surveillance, undercover surveillance, to make sure all was good right there at Vantage and Ventura, and, yeah, just to see if there was anything weird going on, but, yeah, just everybody's walking around with their signs and, doing all that.
So unfortunately, people that they got downtown, they got especially the media. I don't like the bad. It makes us look bad, and I can say, well, it wasn't us, it was CHP or the sheriffs. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
You know, we all have
Still
our
honest.
lives, right?
Steve?
No, I was downtown
Mhm.
and it was gigantic. It was boisterous, people were having fun, music, waving or something, walking around. We left at like 2 PM or something, we took the subway down. And so the metro stations, they closed off, we had to go to Union Station, we walked the bridge over the freeway, and that's where people were starting to collect the guys with the Palestinian flags and whatnot. And we said, well, looks like a good time to leave, so, we did. I guess it really didn't start getting bad till in the evening sometime.
Around sunset,
Yeah.
yeah.
But in large part, it was extremely peaceful, just lots and lots of people, and mostly having seemingly a good time. Interesting signs
Well,
and
this
whatnot.
weekend, there's supposed to be some happening.
Huh?
On Sunday, there's supposed to be some more protests happening.
Well, there's supposedly some today, because it was John Lewis.
But going back to your original question about LAPD, if you notice, the first few days when these protests began, the National Guard, they had lethal equipment. Many things, they had their helmets, they had their shields. So what we were asked to do is just basically de-escalate anything and make sure that so that's what we were doing. So we started vandalizing, blue balls, throwing projectiles. One of the officers, I'm not sure what part, he ended up getting in Molotov cocktail. And that's what caused the administration of Washington to deploy and that Molotov cocktail range and then our stance is, when I have a flyer with a QR code, I get it for everybody here, so you guys can disseminate it in Spanish and English. Our stance is, since the 1970s, we did not enforce immigration laws. Police Commissioner Board ran that in 1977, I believe. Something like that. 79. But there's been like that for 66 years now.
that's something that, you know, a lot of, it's unfortunate because a lot of our Angelinos don't know that. And why is it? Well, it's understandable because when they see ice, and I don't even know why ice does this, they have ice on the top and says police on it. They're not really police, that's just the way you use them. And we do respond when they request for assistance. When do they request assistance? When they're doing what we're doing, and they get surrounded, people, so they request us, we get there, we try to de-escalate. It's almost like, you know, how we have protests, when we have people that go there and protest for one thing, and the other group, but the same exact thing. We'll send a supervisor out, the supervisor has to verify that these ICE individuals are really ICE individuals, and then let's send an officer, maybe 6 officers, to make sure that no one is doing anything violence. But we're not taking sides.
So when I was at the protest, there was media behind the skirmish line. We had to actually physically pull lots of walk up to the skirmish line, or charge skirmish line, say, media, you must take your cross. So that person was grabbed and escorted through. So it's not like we're not allowing them to come through. They're choosing to be on that side. So that's what they want to do then, by all means. They want to get that coverage, they want to get that shot for the media because it sells, right? And so they want to get that. So you're in the midst of it. And this you take, we're not aiming for anything either. Crossfire. But I was there several times, we actually kind of escorted through the storyline and everybody else coming through in person. That's where they chose to be.
Rumors are out there, but I'm telling people, well, yes, they did.
Well, again, it's a 10-minute video, entertaining, 20 seconds. Same.
They don't want to listen to Dr. Stadium.
Yeah, these are, I tell you, these are part-time things. We go to Fridays, we go to funding. I have civilians in my team here, in my office, crying because they let go. And well, they can't go. They're really crying because they can't believe. I got that email that said, hey, I remember, put your finances ready. ICE operations going on, all that public pressure. It took years since 1979 to learn. We're losing it because our crime what they down, which is good. But I have a feeling that our victims are strong feeling. Because we've had like maybe 1 week, we've had like 3 robberies, no domestic violences. That's not good. Especially when some kind of people drinking and just being home and stuff. They're not being reported. They don't do it. So that trust is not there. The last, about 3 Saturdays ago, we had a really cadet soccer tournament. And guess what? I show up. We only had probably like 3 teams. And the year before that, really, we had about 20 teams. And a lot of the stand community members didn't show up. And the kids are the ones that suffer. Yeah, I took back in this. This is hopefully, you know, ICE operations going through different states.
The reason why is because back in the areas like Rampart, the if you have a heavy, Latino population, where a lot of is a rising crime. So in order to get folks to speak up, there's a, if you witness a rape, you witness an assault, they don't get those folks to speak up, and then you never knew it was going on for something else. So the city council drafted it, police commission drafted it, and that's the guys who've been going on for so many years. So maybe you'll feel free to go to the LAPD and say, yeah, there's nothing like that. You know, we're going now, so we go to court, and so the district attorney has the wherewithal to prosecute. So he has to go that kind of stuff. That's one that you do not. That's all that.
So, also, so we talked about traffic, we talked about ICE operations. Can you do me a favor, the front desk should have that, those flyers and, QR code for the, ICE policy. So, oh yeah, so we have our summer night lights, which is anti-gang program that we've had for a few years now. We do have one here in North Hollywood, Alexandria Park, right by the tiny homes. They go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, from 6 to 10:30. They're going all the way to First Street office. They've been uneventful. The main gangs that we're worried about in that area is North Hollywood Boys, North Hollywood Locals, and Agents. So those three gangs have been behaving good. Personally, I think it's just the fact that there's a lot of violent gang members are growing up. We're going to a different age, group now. And if anything, they're actually part of our homeless community.
Is it an outreach, or what is the homeless, or the summer night?
Something like, so what it is, they will have, it's almost like a fair, like a little fair that they have in the park, right? And then they have food, they have raffles, they have, we're there, trying to recruit and stuff, and they have an anti-gang coalition counselors as well, like the grid. Grid Foundation, they're there as well, and they have actually they'll have a Parks and Rec also helps out. They'll open the gym, they'll have basketball, they'll have flag football, soccer, and Church of Scientology is there a lot. They do anti-drug programs. That's really it.
Is this something that normally industries is
No.
Is Parks and Rec
I think they have their own, but it's kind of like, we used to be doing a lot more, close all the way to Sunday. We'll start in June all the way to early September, but again. This year they cut it from 5:30 in the evenings to 11. It used to be to 11:30. Now it's from 6 p.m. to 10. And the parks are now only about 8 parks in the entire valley. Before the valley would get as many parks as possible. But at least we didn't think we would have this because of the funding. So we were able to, the city was able to. So I think Like from here, I'm gonna probably go to those ones. So I think it helps.
Is there, yeah, 'cause we used to have one in Valley Village, we have a Valley Park over there. I think that's something over there, 'cause that's right in the loop then.
Yeah, that's where it is, Alexander Park.
It's over by the library, not,
Is it by the 173? No?
Is the dirt bike program happening for the youth, or is that also?
So,
stuff.
I spoke about the number of police officers. The chief of police, he went, did an interview this morning and last night on Channel 5. You can Google it or watch it on YouTube. He breaks it down, the numbers. Deployment. So I want to talk real quick about the homicide. Everybody heard that, right? Unfortunately, 2 homicides. Gonna happen here. Obviously, gonna happen in Mission or happen in West Valley. But I just figured it's on the mind, right? And it's close to home because one is in Mission, the other one. It's not next to us, but it's in West Valley. So the one with the 5-year-old, we have the suspect in custody, been arrested. Looks like he was the child's stepdad, if you will, boyfriend and mom. But unfortunately, it looks like the child was abused for years. But anything comes out of it. LFD, you know how we are. Once we look at something, we might take us a little bit, we look at it, we rarely get suspect in custody. So that solves that tragedy, right? And then the second one, same thing. Suspect was identified, taken into custody as well.
so the movie,
That one, it's still kind of ongoing investigation, so I can't give too much details, but I'll give you the details that I have as far as the media knows about it as well. It seems that this individual, has some mental issues. It wasn't, this is kind of, we've seen a lot of rashes on residential buildings, right? Forums, we've had, great programs that communities get involved. This is a perfect example of what difference is when someone that's mentally ill breaks into your house and someone that's not mentally ill breaks into your house to rob your items, right? This person, after he shot and killed those 2 victims, innocent victims, he didn't rape the woman, didn't steal anything. All he did was shot them with the gun that belonged to them. And that's one of the reasons why you guys notice someone will always ask me at a forum, if I buy a gun, do you recommend that to guard myself? What do I usually say?
Better not use it for that.
I don't know details of what happened, but, you know, the gun that was used to kill both of them was the owner. The suspect was arrested with the gun. You can see him leaving the house in the videos. Putting the gun, putting it in his backpack, in his back, and just jumping over. So, the question is, if there was no gun in the house, what would happen? The suspect had been at the house before. For some reason, he was focused on the house. I don't know why. He wasn't mentally ill. He didn't break in, steal like normally that's why, if anything, I always recommend having one.
There's Fred.
Alligators.
Close to it.
That's it. Look.
Yes, say it, say it, say it.
A big dog
Big
or
dog.
a chihuahua. A chihuahua.
Because at least you'll know your dog. You know when the dog is barking because she's excited, or when they smell something. Dogs, when it comes to smell, they could tell something of coyotes or crazy person. They will smell. And they will smell. And I don't care if you're crazy, you're under the influence, or whatever. You hear a dog, you're gonna be bigger. That's my only advice.
So did this happen on Thursday when there was a report of, someone going over the fence?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's
So the
not-
way we found out was the neighbors doing their job. They observed this suspect jump over the fence, and recognize him, he's walking down the street, and they call him. We get there, so,
Isn't he, he's in the middle that people see him around? That's what it says, he coming out on the news that he lives in the area. And he's like, into drugs all the time, and he hangs out with the drugs around outside with one of his buddies, and, you know, whatever they kind of, mostly, I don't know,
This was the
in Seymour?
south of White Oak, south of Boulevard, where he was arrested up on Van Nolens.
Is he homeless? No.
looks like he's doing, narcotics and he has some recreation.
Right,
Any other questions? Mine, I think?
Is there, sorry, so many questions. Is there going to be a system again where we can break down, crime statistics to specific areas versus like North Hollywood, we can break down Studio City, North Hollywood.
What I told you was Ron Graff would get all those, stats, and he'd break it down by senior lead, and what's each one, you know, like an overview of North Hollywood. But he doesn't get the information because of the RMS or something, but he hasn't been able to do that, but he was really good at that, because then you'd just get your senior lead, and you'd see how many burglaries, how many robberies, or whatever, you know, in your area, and you'd post that, send that out, but, that was how we were handling it, we were lucky, but I don't know if there's any other way that you guys get
No,
stats.
it's because, so we just, the entire city, entire department, we switched so we can do and improve, crime stat. Algorithms. So much that even our inspections, I changed. I think it's getting better, but it's a work in progress. To the point where I'll give you an example, traffic right now. DOT, they're doing some increments, and the system, DOT's system is so antiquated, it couldn't catch up to our new program, or new system that we have. So there was like, what happened with the impounds, they couldn't do impounds for like a week and a half. Not traffic division, a DOT.
Through RMS you're talking about?
Yeah. So it's a new system, RMS. So we're still passing that through. But we will be able, hopefully be able to put, the right.
But he's just a good one, so I don't know if you,
But he's getting into,
I don't know, I think we might have gotten from stats, you know, like, Constant or whatever online.
so let's work on that, let's see if we can, I don't know,
Yeah, I think he's still interested in, he's with the, Melhouse neighborhood council, basically. And,
specifically, North Hollywood,
Yeah, there's a big one for North Hollywood.
map, you know,
And
small
then
map.
we broke it down by the schools.
Types of crimes that the watch they were committed on.
Yeah, we need to see that, because he's really great with data, everybody really appreciated all the stuff that he did, but I'm not too sure exactly how he got all the stats and everything, you know. Yeah, because even if he do it for us, have access to what he needs to. All right, deal with you.
You have the flyers in? So that flyer is,
And I also have them too, I think, he gave me, I could scan them and email them.
those are like, CPAB version of what I do. They're just updated. So we'll give you those, everybody will get a copy, QR code, pass it around. I made them in English and Spanish. Maybe. Okay, that's all I have.
Are we still doing the survey, the review survey?
Yes.
How are we doing with that, people, or not?
636 respondents, and it's a work in progress, but I think we should continue.
Okay, all right, so still keep pushing out that survey. All right, Pals Golf Tournament, obviously Ross and Dana aren't here tonight, we'll talk about that, but, they wanted me to check, and I know Pat signed up for it, and I have too. If anybody's interested in volunteering that day for the golf tournament, it's on Monday, August 18th, and it's at Porter Ranch in Northridge. And, don't know exactly what we'd be doing yet, you know, I'm not too sure about the time, probably it starts maybe around 7:30, because I think breakfast is like at 8, you know, do breakfast, and we could be checking people in, or stuff like that.
You have bartenders and.
Well, see, the thing is that back in the day, my partner Sandy and I would have a special beer cart, if you know what I mean, with bottles in it, like JB, rocks, and stuff like that, so everybody was really happy to see us when we came around. So we had to sneak it in, so, yeah, that was when we made a lot of money at Cal Doctor, especially $30,000, $40,000, and didn't have to buy. Anyway, so it's just, you know, just kind of get an idea, if anybody's available and you're interested in doing it, I'll have more information for you to send out, so if you don't have to tell me, I know you are. If anybody has interest, I'll just keep me informed, but get more information, and see if you guys still want to do it, just let me know. So it's a fun day, you know, you get fed lunch and you get a nice little dinner, which is like around 3:30 after in the afternoon, you get some like, you know, 'cause they play their round of golf, or they take a break and have their little lunch, and then they go play golf, and then, the silent auction, and the raffles and all that happens during the whole day. And then they get out the trophies and the dinner, and then they leave, so usually it's done at like 6 o'clock, if you can only come in for the morning, and just want to have stuff comes up at noon, that's great, you know, we'll just find it more people at the time we want to. So, that's that. The National Line applications, we talked about that with Valley Village, Toluca Lakes, Studio City, and Sun Valleys. I know that, like I said, Ross is gonna be having a table for cows at the Toluca Lake one. And, I don't know too much about the Studio City one, haven't gotten any flyers on that. And the Sun Valley, haven't got anything on that yet. And I think I saw the flag for Valley Village, so hopefully I'll get the flyers and I can send them out to you guys. And they said just, you know, tell me go after one of them, or if you wanna go to a couple of them, or if you wanna go out, that's fine too. Just so we know that's happening right out.
We should have the best one.
Well, you know, so it looks like didn't do it last year, I don't think. Valley Village is always great. Always great, it's huge, always great. You know,
And they walk in there.
yeah, it's it's been, you know, one of the best ones around forever. Studio City, last year they didn't do it. I know that during COVID, I think we had the best one, because when I came up with this idea, and I think I was supposed to put me on it, and Sergeant Standard was in charge, and I just said, you know, here it's COVID and we can't go out and do anything. I said, why don't we do this? Why don't we do a caravan? You know, get everybody to meet. Yes, Caesar, you loved it, but we had everybody meet at where they normally would have their national night out, obviously would be where they were. You know, and we started in Cedar Lake, there, they caravan, and we went over to Studio City and picked up people there. And then we caravan, and we were like this big long caravan for the whole division. You know, and of course our slugs provided us with, with escorts and lights and sirens, and we were being directed to the red lights and everybody. I mean, the community said, this is so great, everybody that joined us, like, oh my God, you know. So then we ended up at Valley Village Park, you know, and then Amy makes a phone call to her hubby, and we get air support. You know, so that was really a fun one. And, you know, we were honking and yelling, and of course we came by the station, and we told the captain, you know, hey, we're on our way by. And so we had officers out there in front, they were honking and waving, yelling. It was a fun night. You know, and then after that, we tried to do a big joint one in Woodson Park, where I tried to get all the neighborhood councils to consolidate in one place. And that was really that great. The Studio City people showed up, the neighborhood council, but nobody from Studio City showed up. You know, they didn't want to go to Woodson Park. So we just thought, you know what, we're not gonna get involved in the national night out. The neighborhood councils do it. So.
For the 4th of July, Valley Village, all of the, that was cool. That was my first one that.
Did you get hit by any candy?
No.
I didn't.
All right, we've got a couple of outreach ideas from our meeting tonight, stuff like that. As far as CPAB committees, Lenore is gone. General, I know that you probably got something to say. The poor clergy council, you know, I mean, you've got a family.
Right now, I'm willing to ask for president, so I'm not up in unwavering solidarity, so I have to get to all that.
And,
There's also a vigil, tomorrow night, mission vigil. I'll be there. I'm not sure where.
did you have a chance to read the letter from the DA?
Yes.
I think, you know, he's been doing,
Better job than the last one. A lot of, it seems they're finding a lot of arrests. Other people. Especially with the amendments to Block 46, petty thefts. We're seeing this, what we're seeing. When they start, I was talking to people, when these transients, unhoused individuals, start seeing that they're gonna get booked the third time, they leave the area. Because they know that when we show up, we're gonna recognize them, we're gonna know, okay, this is the third one, we're done. We're booking up, like that. So they're gonna leave, unfortunately, for different division, but, you know, I think it's good. I don't think we're gonna see the results right away, because don't forget, when Block 46 was passed originally, and I was seeing, the last 2 years, we were seeing the results of how it was from 26. So I think it's gonna take another 5 to 6 years for us to see, and, all of that community first.
Do you think it's worth sending that letter just to engage them? All right, so we can send it. I'm gonna make a note of that. Should I send it or should?
Yeah, you can just, I can try to send you one from these.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that'd be nice, yes. One of our CPAB.
Yeah.
All right.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
We're doing it more for the engagement. I think they understand the message. But we're doing it because last time we sent a letter, we engaged with the entire police commission. We really made nearby the CPAC very visible. And I think that's the value of doing this. It let, the DA, Mr. Hoffman, know who we are, that we're active, that have our eyes open. He knows about the road situation. We're not going to do this. But except that we're civilians that are very on top of the situation. So there may be some value.
And you showed up to our forum.
As far as CESA is concerned, there's been a little bit of a change. We have a new officer in charge of bringing on the program. It's Tony Controlla, our former YSL officer that was and the Jeopardy kids, and Josh was going to do Tony's job, so we just kind of switched for a bit. And we're kind of like looking at the program and revamping it a little bit. A lot of stuff about maybe more different police station, specialized units, folks come up with some ideas and start to help you about some of help them out with maybe watch an area and we've done all that. You don't know half the stuff that we've done, Kathy. We've got felony arrests, we've got stolen cars, we really, it's crazy out there. And, we did an awful lot, I think it kind of floated in kind of what it is out. We kind of have, we did some good arrests and stuff like that, and we got this one guy, John Customer kind of tell the story, but, we would meet back in the crowd, and he'd give us the hot sheets and go over our operations, and we were going to be doing to use the corridor. We wanted to get this one guy, especially from the hot sheet, for the theft of a $3,000 bike, it was a felony. And, we knew about that, so, usually, John would go and load up the car, we'd already get our location, and we'd drive up to it. I read that, here's the boulevard with my partner, we can go right there to, in and out, because we're right there at like the turn. And she goes, Sherry, there's man gun. Because we named man gun, we wore a man gun, and John said, if anybody wears a man gun, they need to arrest them. So we saw it right away. John's still back at the station, and we're already out there, so everybody else, because we had our own tack, was driving around, and they all had eyes on him, and we were watching him, and I think John put it out, and finally, the unit came by, and then John, was over there, and he'd get on the radio, and he was nice. Of course, the bike that we got him with wasn't the stolen one, that he had crack marks off it on his arm, but yeah, he came out from Florida, and I thought, yeah, it's going real good, isn't it? Yeah. So then he gets back on the radio, and tells us, he goes, yeah, he's got a full expedition to the state of Tennessee, so Tennessee's back here, Tennessee's back together. And then Penny and I ran into the arresting officer about a week later, and he said, you know that man, but yeah, he's got a warrant for his arrest in the state of Tennessee, and they said, yeah, he's a prison escapee. So we got, it's pretty safe. So we've done fun stuff like that, and we're doing the other aspects of our program besides just this.
We all have.
Yeah, and to help out inside the station for with talks of people excited about answering the phones at the front desk that have been trained that haven't done it yet, so there's sort of like a renewed interest and stuff like that, so we're working on it, so. That's what we're doing for our 16 and
Slow for A21, Luke Burke still temporary.
Yes, sir. So what I'm doing with the slows, I just wanna make it equitable